All right, so this is going to be a short video to show how to use LeoAFO to design a short articulated AFO, something similar to a Richie Brace, where it has a custom footplate and a short cap section. So start by importing your AFO scan, STL or OBJ file, and we'll just jump straight into applying the landmarks. So the first 3 landmarks will automatically orient the mold. Just follow the list and do the rest of the landmarks as well. And I'll be zooming a little quick here just for the sake of time. And once you get your mold automatically oriented, we can jump into the design process or start taking some measurements. Some measurements will be automatically generated according to these loops here. You can always take manual measurements as well. I'll start by doing some smoothing. And with the sculpt smoothing tool, I'll turn off preserve volume. I'll put the strength down really low because it's a really aggressive algorithm. And I'll bump up my radius on my smoothing tool here. And I'll just kind of go around and touch things up. This was the outside of a cast. So I can do some basic smoothing like this. I can also use the scan offset tool. So I'll reduce it by the thickness of the cast, which was about 2 mils. And you can see now I'm left with something that's a little bit closer to the thickness of the foot there, the dimensions of the foot, sorry. And I'll go back into the smoothing tool, open up that sculpt smoothing, bump the strength up a little bit, and remove my cut tube down the front. And actually, I'll go this way and I'll blend it all back in here. That was a pretty lumpy, bumpy cast, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time making sure it's all nice and smooth. But now that I have most of the major lumps and bumps taken care of, I can start adding some buildups. So with the pressure relief tool, I'm going to add some pressure relief zones on the medial malleolus, the lateral malleolus, and I can shape those and size them however I need to. And since this particular individual has some really severe valgus collapse, I'm going to be doing a really strong ST mod to resist that valgus collapse. So I'm going to drag this out, something like this. Let's see how that looks. Maybe that's a little high here, a little too aggressive. We'll do 4 mils. And I think that looks pretty good to me, something like so. I might actually extend this down all the way. And I'll take away that material. And I could just jump straight into the design. I could also do some posture correction. So if I need to increase the toe ramp, for example, or if I want to decrease the angle of plantar or dorsiflexion, which this model is pretty extreme with the positioning. And if I need to improve the subtalar joint, I can do that and also decompensate the forefoot. So once I get into the position and the smoothing that I like, I can also add a small channel modification. So this will just make it so that the calf cuff and the ankle section is able to be donned easily and comfortably. And there's lots of different ways that I can change this. You know, how tightly does it wrap to the model with the angle controls here. I can change, you know, the curvature of how it blends around the ankle, around the foot, and also the transition length. So if I want to have a short or a long transition length, do something like this. Go ahead and apply that, and I'll come back in and just kind of smooth it all together, make sure it looks nice. And we'll go ahead with that. Now I will select the short articulated AFO template, and it's going to have some tamaracks built into it. And I can go ahead and generate the model just to see, actually, it's not going to generate because I didn't correct the joint placement there. So let me fix that right quick. We're going to separate those, get the medial, and change the positioning so that those are back into the trim lines. And while we're here, we'll just do a little bit of updating on the trim line shape itself. Go ahead and move these control points around to get it into kind of the best position possible. And while I'm at it, I'm going to update the size and the location of this pattern piece here. Move that around a little bit, and I'll check my tamarack placement. Might improve that a little bit more. Let's see here. So that's the lateral side, needs to come up a bit, and probably right about there. Rotate it a little bit, and then we'll come over to the medial side and bring that. That looks okay for now. Let's see. We'll go ahead and generate this model and see what we're working with. So in a matter of seconds, it will go through and extrude the shells, do all the pieces, and get me a finished model. I don't want that rear foot post. I'm going to take that away. I'm going to form my own and glue it to the bottom so I can kind of change the tuning on it a little bit. So that's kind of the process that's needed to get to the point of having a print ready file. So if I turn off all these things here, you can see this is going to be the device that actually gets sent to the printer. And we have people who are printing these successfully on FDM machines. You can change the reinforcement here. Obviously, you can change the global thickness. So if I wanted to go here and, you know, bump the thickness up to something a little bit more, I can go ahead and, again, in a matter of seconds, just update this so that the thickness is beefed up, and that is customized to my foot scan. You can see here. And now I don't have to spend the time to build this in the shop or send the mold out to the lab. And obviously, if I was going to actually be producing this one, I'm going to edit this a little bit more to improve the trim lines here of the tamarack joints. Need a little bit of help so that this thing actually operates as intended. I'm going to bring this one a little bit farther forward there. And then I can change a couple of things about the way that these cut lines are shaped and how we want these to be transitioned into the model. So we're going to go ahead and change that one. And we'll do the same thing